Peace, family. I want to talk to the family briefly today about the black community and knowing how to love. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and my son, he always wants, he's always trying to hug on me and hug and all those kind of things. And I'm not like the hug type. I didn't grow up in a house where we said, we love you, or we hugged, or they put an arm around you and gave you an encouraging word and stuff like that. My father was the type of man that went to work every day, made sure we had a roof over our head, food in the refrigerator, and that was his way of showing love. He wasn't the type son, I love you, or give you that great pep talk and all that kind of stuff. That just wasn't his thing. That wasn't something that, we was accustomed to. And I never really thought about it like that until I got older, where my son, he's looking for validation from his dad. He's looking for love, pep talks and stuff like that. My wife was like, you're a good dad, but how come you don't ever hugging your son? Or just, a lot of times he'll come down and want to sit down and talk with you and you'll just brush him off. How come you do that a lot? Now, I never really paid it no mind. I thought it was normal. I just thought that it was, me, I'm here, I'm in the home, I'm in his life, I'm taking care of him, I'm just being a good dad. And my wife was like, but what about when he's in the house and he's talkative and he wants you to answer his questions? He wants you to, and I thought about those things and it made me, harken back on my life. And I said, well, damn, my dad never really did those kind of things with me. If my dad was sitting in the living room reading the newspaper and I came in there talking too much, he'd tell me get the hell out the living room. But I wanted to say I'm making this video because in our communities, we don't have a lot of compassion. Because we're not taught compassion, sensitivity, and love inside the homes. And we go outside with people that's not our family members. We don't have the compassion for people outside in our communities. This thing is serious, when it comes to our upbringing and the way we're reared. I try to be more loving towards my grandbabies. I'm working on being more affectionate because that's something that I lacked. And I think my dad knew how to be the best father he knew how to be. He wasn't the affectionate type. So that stuff was never passed down. I wasn't raised by my mama. I was raised by my dad, ex-military guy. And I think that I'm doing this video. I do the videos like the simple stuff because it's the simple stuff that we lack in the black community that affects us in a major way. A lot of these young black boys never had places where, they can go and just let emotions out or just be loved on, where they'll be able to give back love. They'll be able to give back sensitivity. They'll be able to give back understanding to people outside their homes. The reason why you got black boys blowing each other away without a care in the world, without even a thought, because they're heartless. They have no emotions. People like to say sometimes when a black boy is getting turned up, they say you're emotional. No, a lot of these black boys don't have no emotions. That's why they're so violent. That's why they're so vicious. They didn't get enough hugs from their daddies. Their daddies didn't tell them they love them enough. Tell your sons you love them. Tell your daughters you love them. Put your arms around them. Walk, listen to their favorite music with them sometime. Sometimes if she outside jumping rope, just go outside and sit with her. Just let her know that, just let her feel your presence. Let her know you there. While she outside playing or whatever she's doing, just go sit down with your daughter, man, and just sit with her. Go in the room and play the game with your son. When he win or you win, give him a high five. Put that smile on his face. Because growing up, a lot of our parents were so frustrated. They were on a grind so hard every day. It was such a grind. They didn't have time to come home and love on you, man. They went to work, they fed you, and whooped your ass when you was bad. That was it. There is no affectionate love like it should be inside the households that we coming from. And everybody watching this video understand and know what I'm talking about in the black community. Our way of showing a love is showering our kids with expensive gifts, you know, and doing things for them that they really don't deserve. Not just really, I mean, when the last time y'all just sat down and watched a movie together and just laughed as a family and everything was funny? Or you just, or you took your family out somewhere and y'all just had fun, the whole family went skating, you know, you, your children, and all those things. When the last time you just did those things, you know? When the last time, you know, just being a daddy, you know, you worked as hard as you can and put smiles on your children's face and it didn't cost you no money? You'd be surprised. Those kind of act of kindness and love to your children can really keep your daughter off the stripper pole. It can keep your son from having that Glock in his hand and running around because your son or your daughter seeking love and affection from somewhere else. They seeking love, your daughter seeking love and attention from the wrong man because you didn't know how to give it to her, because you never got it. Your son is seeking love and attention from a gang. Or he jumping from bed to bed to every girl looking for a fantasy love that don't exist. And by that time he got 5 kids by 4 different women, and you just get what you get in the community. We gotta be more than just fathers that take care of the kids. We gotta learn to be. It's a whole cycle. I mean, it's a whole. What's the word I'm looking for? When being a dad is not just being a provider. You gotta be a man. You gotta be a provider. You gotta be a teacher. You gotta be everything, man. You gotta be a confidant. You gotta be everything, man. And that's something that I had to learn because I didn't get all of those skills from my father. My father wasn't equipped to teach me all of that kind of stuff. My father's father left him when he was small. You know, and he didn't catch back up to him when he was older, so he didn't have his father in his life. So my father knew that he was supposed to take care of me and do certain things, but as far as being that confidant, being that man I can go to and just get game from all the time as a kid, I didn't have that from my dad till I got older. My dad was dealing with his own stuff. A lot of us are dealing with our own demons and our own pain of the past that we're not even there to properly teach our children. What we're passing down to our children is the same dysfunctional shit that we've been carrying. We're not here for our children, man. Our children is not walking in love. Our children is walking in pain, hurt, and strife with things that they learn from us. Because at this age, we're still walking around as children disguised as adults. I'm going to say it again. We're still walking around as children disguised as adults trying to raise children. It's a recipe for disaster, man. And this is why our communities look the way it is. We got to learn how to love. Learn how to be compassionate. Learn how to be good friends of each other. Brother to brother, sister to sister. We got to teach each other how to be proper parents in our homes and our communities, man. Because these are things that we're not properly learning in the households that we're coming up out of. It shows in the communities that we come from. I do these type of videos because I want it to be heartfelt, and it's the simple stuff. It's the simple stuff that we neglect. Oh, I work every day. My kids got what they need. Not everything. Your kids got material stuff, but do your kids have you? What type of love are you giving your kids? Is the way you love your kids buying them sneakers that they gonna tear up in 2 days? Or is your love with your kids being expressed through physical action when you telling them you love them? Constantly, you're constantly building them up. You're constantly building up their psyche and let them know that they're great and they can be great, huh? These are things that I had to learn how to do. One thing for certain, 2 things for sure, man. A baby comes here knowing how to be a baby, but you got to learn how to be a parent. Being a parent, that you have to learn how to do that. And a lot of us are grown-ups, but we don't know how to parent, man. We don't know how to parent. And this is why Philadelphia has almost 400 homicides and 85% of them are black. Because you got so many black boys walking around angry, frustrated. They're afraid to show vulnerability or weakness. They're afraid to love, because to love or to show affection, where we come from, is a sign of weakness and somebody coming to eat your food. But those kids that see my son showing love and affection as a sign of weakness, that's a failure on their parents. Because their parents didn't raise them not to hurt my children. I'm raising my son not to hurt your son by raising my son in love, raising my son in the marriage, being the example for what manhood should be. That I'm working every day to raise my son. So I'm raising my son so he don't harm your sons. I'm raising my son so that he'll love your sons. Are you doing the same? Are you doing the same? So if you want for your brother what you want for yourself, you want for your sister what you want for yourself, make sure you raise your children in love so we can change this dysfunction in our black community, man. I'm going to cut this video short here, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share to the Georgia Make It Experience. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.